welcome to another pen video from me, Penultimate Dave. So I have another Visconti box here, and it's a big box. So let me unpack the box and I'll show you what I have inside it. Right, this is a very heavy leather or leatherette box from Visconti. It comes in this cloth cover, or tote bag as some people like to call it. It's actually a drawstring bag, as you can see here. And you get this lovely leather box here. So let me open it up and I'll show you what is inside it. This is the Visconti Opera Master Stardust. Now, this is a retailer exclusive. Now, this is available from Truffet, truffetinc.com. And this is a Opera Master from Visconti made as a retailer exclusive. Chris at Truffet has been able to work with Visconti. Now, the difference with this is that it comes in one of these lovely big heavy boxes, but there's a subtle difference. Normally with most of these Opera Masters you will get the pen and an ink bottle, or the pen and a travelling inkwell. You won't actually get the pen, the ink bottle and the travelling inkwell. So I think this is a great deal. I do love the travelling inkwells. I have a lot of these, and so let me just show you here. This is the ID card here. This is, it says the Opera Master headline, but this is actually the Stardust. So the dark red version is the Stardust, and then there's a light red version, which I have also reviewed, which is the Corvina. So let me show you the pen here, and I'll take the inkwell out as well, so you can have a look at that. Now, I have shown the inkwell on a number of other videos, but I'll show it here again. So this is the Stardust, the Opera Master Stardust. Now this, for me, is a stunning pen. It's almost like a nebula. It's a dark red pen, very dark actually. But as you can see here, it's really nice. If I zoom in a little bit, you'll get to see what I mean by a nebula. It's just absolutely stunning. And it's all the way round on this particular one. And you can see here, you see the little bit of like, I want to say chatoyance going on there, but you can just see the nib and the pen. If I unscrew it, you can kind of see it. You see it there, it's just butting up. So it's a little bit translucent, this material. But it's a stunning material there, and there's a little bit of translucent there with the white. It's I'd say this is like a galaxy, and I do like these kind of pens. They really do look nice. Now, as I said to you, you also get a travelling inkwell with it. You also get an ink bottle. So I think this is a really good deal. Now, the travelling inkwell, if you don't know, I've got a video on this. I try not to fill the Opera Masters or any of the Power Vacs up with a travelling inkwell now, because you have to be really careful not to launch them across the room. And I've actually done that on a video, and that wasn't with a Power Vac, that was just a piston filler. But basically what you do is you unscrew this, you put your pen inside, and the ink is in here. You tilt it up, you pull back the Power Vac knob, push it in, it creates a vacuum, ink runs into the pen or gets sucked into the pen, and then you have effectively what will be a full fill, providing you don't get ink everywhere, which can actually happen and has happened to me a number of times. But that's just the nature of because it's a vacuum that you are trying to create. So this for me is a really nice pen. I do love it. So let's show you parts of the pen here. We have the standard on the end there, a My Pen's finial. Now, the trim here is a ruthenium trim. It's a black metal trim. So I think it actually goes really lovely with this pen. You have the standard Visconti bridge clip, which is springy, and it's also enamelled in a red colour there. The cap itself tapers up to the center band here on the cap, and then you will see here the word opera, and whether or not it's an opera metal, an opera, or an opera master, Visconti always just show the words opera there. And then on the reverse side you'll see the number here, the LE number. So this is you can see that there, number 7 of 28. So there are only 28 of these pens available worldwide, and this tends to happen with a lot of the Visconti retail exclusives. The nibs available in this are extra fine, fine, medium, broad, and stub, although there is a limit on stub nibs. These are the 23 carat palladium nibs. So if you want to pick, I think this pen is going to sell really quickly, so if you want to pick this pen up, I would try and order one as soon as possible so that you don't have the FOMO effect, or FOMO for fear of missing out. Now, the pen itself here tapers back down to the filler knob, and then you have the filler knob here, and again this is in ruthenium trim, and you can see that there comes to a point. Now, if I unscrew it here, you'll see that again the section is a ruthenium trim as well. It's not a chrome trim, so it's a black coated metal. And then you have the nib here, which is a 23 carat palladium nib. So for me, this is a really, really nice pen. I do like the look of this pen. I do love this material. It's so stunning. So if you've watched a lot of my videos, you'll know that I am not only a fan of the Visconti Homo Sapien range, but I'm also a fan of the Visconti Opera Master range. So these Opera Masters hold around about 2.5 to 3 milliliters of ink. The Homo Sapiens hold around 2 to 2.5 milliliters, I believe. I think you can push to getting 2.5 in the Homo Sapiens, but the Opera Master, it's closer to 3 milliliters of ink. So this is a huge capacity, and as I showed you earlier, there is an ink window here, so you can see how much ink you have got left in the pen. So this for me is a really, really good size and weight pen. So I think in terms of size and weight, let's do some checks here. So the overall length of the pen, it's an Opera Master, it's going to be long. We're looking around about 154, 155 millimeters in length, and then the cap is around 70 millimeters in length. If I unscrew the cap, measuring from the tip of the tines to the end, we're looking at about 142, 143 millimeters there. So it is a large pen, and I'll show you here in terms of in my hand. It is a large pen, and it's a weighty pen. So I think let's do a weight check, and we can see that here. So this is uninked at the moment, but uninked we are looking at just under 60 grams. The cap itself we are looking at just over 20 grams. And then the body we're looking at really just under 40 grams. So by the time you add a full fill of ink in here, you're getting around 42 to 43 grams in weight. So like I said, it's not a light pen. This pen is going to be a heavy pen. It's not one of the heavier pens in my collection. I have pens that are 60, 70 grams in weight easily. So it's not the heaviest pen, but if you like heavy pens, if you like long pens, then I think this is a really, really lovely pen to add to your collection. And like I said, there are only 28 of these worldwide. So if you want one, you're going to need to get one fast, because they are going to sell out, or at least they will sell out most likely in the nib that you want. So there are only a certain amount of versions with certain nibs available. So get it quick if this is a pen that really speaks to you, because they will sell out fairly quickly, I think. So I think what we'll do now is we will ink it up, and I'll do a writing sample. This is the Visconti Opera Master, and this is the Stardust. You can see how wet this is writing. It's a 23 carat palladium nib, and it's a stub nib. Now, the ink in here is Visconti Bordeaux. Some people also call it Burgundy as well. I'm going to call it Bordeaux. Now, in terms of line variation, you're not going to get a lot of line variation, but I'm trying to push it a little bit here. You'll see a bit more here. It is a stub nib, so you're not going to see a huge amount of line variation. But here you go with the figure of 8, and you can see that you do get a little bit of line variation going on here. Now, in terms of ink wetness test, let's have a look at this and see how wet this is. So this is actually writing quite wet. It's almost bordering on a fire hose of a nib. Normally I would say a fire hose is about halfway across an A5 page. So it's quite a wet nib. But you can see here, it's actually feathering because that ink was so wet, and this is on Rhodia. And this sometimes does happen with Visconti stubs. So if they do write super wet, and this is quite a wet writer, then that's what you will sometimes see happen. Now, I don't get this on Tomoe River paper, which is normally the paper that I use, but this is something that you might sort of see with some Visconti stubs. So there it is. That's the video review of the Visconti Opera Master Stardust. If you want to pick up this pen, please pick it up from truffeinc.com. That's truffeinc.com. And if you mention to Chris I sent you, I'm sure he'll give you some money off as well. So thanks for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next pen video. Bye bye.